Hello and welcome to this week's Halloween edition of IE News.
I'm Ricky Mulock.
And I'm Jake Lambie.
This week we have two exciting interviews with a new piano instructor and the legendary radio instructor here at Long Beach City College.
Also for our Halloween special, we got some top 10 horror movies for you to watch this fall.
All this and more here on our Halloween edition of IE News.
Now for our first interview, Catherine Evangelista sits down with a new piano instructor, Jackie Petito. Jackie began playing the piano at a very young age. She recently joined us here from Pasadena City College as a beginning and intermediate piano instructor. We welcome her to Long Beach City College.
Today we have a new piano instructor here at our campus, so we want to give her a warm welcome. Miss Jackie Petito, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Catherine?
Good. Thank you so much for talking with us today. Can you tell us a little bit more about your background?
I'm a classical pianist, and you're absolutely right. I'm brand new here this fall semester. I'm really excited to be a part of Long Beach City College. I have been playing since I was 4.5.
Wow.
I do give some concerts in the area and have been teaching at different colleges and universities in the Los Angeles greater area.
Yeah, I saw that you worked at Pasadena City College, and on Rate My Professor, a student quoted that they love the way you teach and the way you encourage them how to play step by step. What should students expect with your teaching here at Long Beach City?
Well, it's really my pleasure to teach the beginning and intermediate class piano classes here, because I just think that it's a wonderful way to learn how to play the piano. They're very social classes, in addition to very inspiring classes. They are excellent introductions to music, because the students also get to learn how to read music as well as all the basics of playing the piano. So and my hope is that they're so inspired that they will continue their studies, their piano studies in the future.
And who or what inspired you to start playing piano?
Actually, my cousin.
Oh, wow.
My cousin, she actually taught all the kids in the family, and I was the only one who stuck with it. And I think also, I have to say, my parents really love music, so I think they were a big influence on me as well. But nobody really studied music in my family until me. Wow. But it's something that I'm passionate about, as well as teaching. Teaching is a real passion for me as well.
So do your classes have concerts or any production that's going to be taking place?
We don't have any concerts right now, but we will have some performances in the future.
Okay.
I am teaching some advanced piano students, so we have a private lesson program here called the Applied program, and so those students will definitely participate in performances, but they have not been scheduled yet.
And I heard that you were going to be performing for the foundation. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. That's coming up this Sunday, and it's the Long Beach City College fundraiser for the Foundation for the Arts. So okay. I'll be playing some solo repertoire, and then I will be also accompanying Sky Angulo, who teaches voice and conducts our choirs here at Long Beach. So we will be collaborating this Sunday.
Okay. So I know that you teach all levels for students, beginning to advanced. What advice would you give to somebody that's just starting out in piano?
I would say take our Music 51A class, our
Okay.
beginning piano class. And it's a terrific way to learn how to read music, but also be inspired to learn the very basics of piano and then just continue on.
And where could students contact you?
They can, as well as looking me up on the Long Beach City College website, they can also contact me by phone. My office number is 562-938-4862. And then they can contact me by email. It's jpetito@lbcc.edu.
Great. Well, thank you so much for talking with us, and we're just very excited to have you here, and welcome to Long Beach City College.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Catherine.
Thanks. Well, I'm Catherine Evangelista with IE News.
Thanks, Catherine. It's always nice to welcome new instructors to our campus. Delivering the smooth rhythm of the island beats, Shantika Elliott, also known as DJ Vibes, knows how to deliver that island soul with artists like Shaka Demus and Pliers. DJ Vibes brings us the top 10 reggae hits from the 90s.
Don't worry, be happy. DJ Vibes here with the top 10 old school reggae tunes that are sure to get you grooving. They may talk about some serious social issues, but once you get caught up in the infectious rhythm, everything irie. At number 10, we have Don Penn with No No No, You Don't Love Me. At number 9, we have Ini Kamosi with Here Comes the Hot Step Up. At number 8, we have Hot Gal Today by Mr. Vegas featuring Sean Paul. Number 7, we have Deport Them by Sean Paul. At number 6, Beanie Man wants to know who's got the keys to his Beamer with Seem Seema. And at number 5, Bob Marley wants to know, is this love? At number 4, we have the ultimate ode to reggae music with World in Music by Ini Kamosi. In number 3, Shaka Demus and Pliers warn all the guys about Maxine, a flirty girl with a pretty face and bad character with Murder, She Wrote. Number 2, we have If I Don't Have You by Gregory Isaacs. And at number 1, Tenor Saw rings the alarm with his champion sound. For more vibes, tune in to klbc.org or 1610 a.m. on your dial. Also, kcty.org or 107.7 FM. I'm DJ Vibes, vibing out.
Thanks, Shantika. That was a great top 10 reggae countdown. Up next, I'll be doing the weather forecast in different attire. Stay tuned right after this commercial break.
I just don't know what to pick for my major. I wish I were awesome. I wish I knew what to... Wait a minute. Music, filmmaking, radio, television. Anything in the mass media, you can do here. You can pursue your dreams at Long Beach City College. At the college's Visual Arts and Media Department. I mean, why not? We're pretty close to Hollywood anyway. Just make the decision easier. Roll today.
Hi, I'm Jake Limby with today's weather newscast for IE News. And today, we'll be starting off with our national broadcast here in the East Coast. We're going to be having some heavy snow, very heavy weather, very cold with thunderstorms, rain, sleet, very brutal, very cold. And on to the west. The west is a lot nicer over here. We might have a little bit of snow and maybe a little bit of rain here in California over here. Not too bad. On to our local. And here in Malibu, we'll be having 61 degrees as a high. Santa Monica will be around 64 degrees. Los Angeles will be 61. On to West Covina, which will have a nice little medium of 75 degrees. Anaheim will be up there with 78 degrees. Huntington Beach with 72 degrees. And Long Beach with 75. And on to our 5-day. For today, on Thursday, we're going to be having a high of 68, a low of 57. And on Friday, a high of 70, low of 58. On Saturday, we'll be having a high of 73 and a low of 62. On Sunday and Monday, our highs and lows will both be around 62 degrees. I'm Jake from IE News' weather broadcast, and thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, Jake. You looked sharp there, my friend. Next, I also had a chance to step out of my Batman suit to interview Ken Borgers, a radio instructor here at LBCC. I'm Ricky from IE News, and here we have Mr. Ken Borgers from, he's the head of radio, and he's joining us today. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
So, what is your background in radio? Where did you start?
I started in radio in college radio, and I went to USC, and back then USC had a radio station, KUSC, and it was run by students, the way the two radio stations at Long Beach City College are. So I got a chance to, you know, practice and actually be on the air just the way students at Long Beach City do. And I have to say, it's rare that a college has a radio station that's run by students. There are a lot of college radio stations in the country, a lot of college radio stations here in Southern California, but most of them do not allow students on the air. Places like KUSC and KPCC and KCRW, they're all staffed by professionals, and they're licensed to those colleges, but the students at the college don't get a chance to actually do radio. But at Long Beach City College, you do. So my background, my early background was in college radio, and I still have a passion for that. I went on and I went and worked in commercial radio for a number of years, and worked in non-commercial radio for many more years, but I've always had kind of a passion for college radio and seeing people start out as students and learn the business here.
Okay. So this week we got coming up College Radio Day.
Yes, we do.
Can you tell us a little bit about College Radio Day?
Global College Radio Day is Friday, October 3rd, this Friday, and it was the brainchild of a fellow named Rob Quick at William Patterson College in New Jersey back in 2011. And he was looking around and seeing that college radio really is kind of an endangered species around the world. Every year there are seems like fewer college stations as budgets get tighter at colleges and universities. They don't feel that oftentimes they can support a radio operation, and so colleges drop their radio programs. In fact, Cerritos College had a wonderful 40-year commitment to radio just until the last year or so, and they suddenly dropped it. The program isn't there anymore. So Rob Quick, the general manager at William Patterson College in 2011, decided, let's have a day where we celebrate college radio globally and just say, you know, look, we're important. These are the things we do. College radio trains the broadcasters of tomorrow. Many famous broadcasters in this market, people like Rick Dees and Shotgun Tom Kelly, started in college radio. So that's one of the things we do, train future broadcasters. The other thing we do is break new music. That's the mission of college radio. You're not going to hear new music on Power 106, for example. It's all million sellers. You know, if you're a new artist, where are you going to be heard? You're going to be heard on college radio. So without college radio, you're going to be listening to Mariah Carey, you know, the rest of your life. We move the culture forward. And lastly, we reach out to the community beyond the campus here. The Viking is the in-house organ, the newspaper on campus, great newspaper, but we have listeners in France, you know. So the college's radio station reaches out beyond the campus borders to the community at large in a way no other media on campus does. So those are our three missions, and that's what we're doing with college radio, is to say to the community at large, say to the colleges around the country and around the world, we're important. These are the things we do. Let's celebrate that. And last year, 700 stations participated in College Radio Day. 43 countries were involved. And this year it looks like it's going to be even bigger. There are stations still coming aboard. So what we're going to do for our part of College Radio Day, we're going to have a 6-hour live music celebration. We're going to have bands in 2 studios here on the campus, and we're going to bounce back and forth. While one is setting up, the other one's going to be playing. So we're going to start at 10 a.m. Pacific time and bring you indie bands and artists from Southern California that you probably have never heard of as a way of showing you the kind of things that the college radio can do.
All right. And do you have any advice for anyone trying to get into radio?
Yeah, my advice for people to get into radio is go to a college where you can actually get your hands on equipment. A lot of colleges have the attitude that their instruction is going to be pretty much theory based, and they're going to let someone else teach students how to use equipment. They don't have an equipment budget, and they don't want to get into the whole equipment thing. But our attitude here is let students have the state-of-the-art equipment, learn how to work it. If you break it, you break it. We have people who will fix stuff, but our attitude is to let students have access to equipment, learn how to use it. So I would say find a college that you can go to, especially a junior college like this one, that has a strong commitment to production. And this college, Long Beach City College, has a 40-year commitment to teaching students how to use state-of-the-art equipment. And then, jump in and do it. If you're really committed, you have to understand that it is an incredibly competitive business. It's like any other performing art, like dance, like music. You have to be 100% committed to it. But if you are committed to it and you truly want to do it, you can. And colleges like Long Beach City College can help you succeed.
All right. Professor Borgers, I want to thank you for coming in today. It was a great interview. I'm Ricky Mulak from IE News. Thanks,
Ricky. Thanks for having me.
Nice to see you out of your Batman attire, Ricky. Next, we have a commercial break followed by another Top 10. Stay tuned.
Now that I got your attention, do you want to make movies or be a radio DJ? Yeah! I thought so. Well, come check out Long Beach City College's radio and TV department. Hey, stop playing with those buddies and get to class, young man. No, not that class. Here at LBCC, we have hands-on training, so ditch that boring lecture. Here we'll teach you state-of-the-art equipment, and in no time, you'll have the right tools to make your very own movie. Don't want to make movies? What's wrong with you? Well, you could be a radio DJ and learn all those crazy soundy stuff. Interested? Then check out our website or call. Look at you now. It looks like you're on your way to being the next Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, you. Do you want to learn lighting? Professional studio equipment? Professional cameras? And make your own productions? Yeah, I thought so. Well, come on down to Long Beach City College and sign up for a class in TV and radio broadcasting. Who is that guy in the shot? We have dedicated instructors.
Hey, I'm trying to get some work done here. Leave me alone. Get out of here. Get out of here. I got important work to do. Come on, get out of here.
And bunnies. Tons of bunnies.
Bunnies? I love bunnies.
Don't worry, old timer. We'll teach you how to use that thingamachine.
I'm signing up right now.
Get a certificate in radio television. You could be an editor, you could be a camera person, you could be a producer, you could be a director. The sky is the limit. Not only can you get a job, but you get a career in radio television. Get a job in the entertainment industry. That's what we do here at Long Beach City College.
Welcome back. Next for our Halloween special, Ricky has the top 10 horror movies for you to watch this fall. These are sure to spook you out.
Like all genres of film, there's no definitive list of the best horror movies, but it's all subjective. So here's my personal top 10 horror movies that gets me into the Halloween spirit, in no particular order. Number 10, Fright Night. This fun 80s horror movie plays on the classic My Neighbor's a Serial Killer plot, but this time it's vampires. Coming in number 9 is the most recent of the established horror classics. It parodies the rules of the Cabin in the Woods horror flicks, Cabin in the Woods. It's a fun, self-aware horror movie that plays with the genre and succeeds. And the film was only written over a weekend, and it does not show. Coming in number 8 is Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece, The Shining. The chilling atmosphere and the disturbing images are perfect for getting into the Halloween spirit. Number 7, An American Werewolf in London. This is credited for being the first modern horror comedy, which is why it was so hard for John Landis to get made. If it wasn't great, I wouldn't be wearing this. Number 6, another significant first, Psycho. Perhaps the most famous horror film of all time, is also credited for being the first slasher movie. It's also the first movie to show a toilet on film. Number 5, the most family-friendly of the bunch, Hocus Pocus. Although it's not as scary as the others on the list, with its New England Halloween town setting, it's been putting me in the mood for the 31st every year for as long as I can remember. Have you fallen asleep yet? Better wake up before number 4 takes your life. It's A Nightmare on Elm Street. And when I first saw it, it was censored on TV and it still scared the hell out of me. Now that's scary. Number 3 is such a masterpiece it was nominated for Best Picture, as well as many other Oscars in 1973 for The Exorcist. This movie was so horrific upon release that people threw up, they passed out and ran out of the theater and wouldn't go back for their friends or family. It's not only one of the best horror movies of all time, but one of the best movies of all time. Number 2, you didn't guess it. It's Trick or Treat. This is probably the least popular and least critically acclaimed of the films on my list. It went straight to DVD, but has gotten a cult following since its release in 2009. So why is it on the list? It's a horror anthology film that takes place on Halloween. So if we're talking about horror movies to get you into the Halloween spirit, it's perfect. It's a perfect little horror film and I watch it every Halloween. Now, number 1, what better horror film to get you ready for Halloween than Halloween? The film shot off the teen slasher subgenre, and being one of the top grossing films of 1978 and being an independent film, it's one of the most profitable films of all time. That soundtrack is on every Halloween party music CD. It's an immortal film and will serve as a template for all that is horror. Well, that's my list. But everyone's scared of different things. So make your own list of horror films that get you into that Halloween mood and watch them with your friends. So that's our top 10. I'm Ricky Mulock from IE News, and happy Halloween to you. I hope you enjoyed my top 10 horror movie countdown. Next, we have Jason Gastrich, who interviews the editor-in-chief of our Viking newspaper, Brittany Lieberman.
Hi, I'm Jason Gastrich, and this is IE News. Today I am interviewing editor-in-chief Brittany Lieberman of the Viking newspaper. How's it going, Brittany?
Very well. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, of course.
So what made you want to get into journalism?
I started reading the OC Weekly when I was in, junior high, and I joined the journalism program for fun, and I was editor-in-chief a couple years later, and I loved it. I loved working with people and interviewing and finding out what's going on in the community.
That's awesome. What about the OC paper did you like to read the most? Are there certain columns or writers or pages that you read the most?
Yeah, there was an investigative reporting column that was always really interesting, and it kind of profiled some of the corrupt local sheriffs, politicians, people like that in positions of power. And I was always really shocked to find these things out, and so that kind of fueled the fire a little bit more.
Were your parents into the news and stuff like that also?
Yeah, my mom actually started me on that kinda, so she was kind of a political activist.
Did you come from a big family or a little family?
Half of my family is really big from Mexico, and the other half is relatively small from the South, so kind of both in a way.
Well, that's unique.
Yeah.
Are you looking at some four-year colleges to continue your journalism studies?
I'm looking at Cal State Fullerton and Long Beach, so they both have pretty good journalism programs.
Okay, but not USC?
Maybe. It's a little pricey, but yeah.
I just asked because you had the sweater on.
Yeah.
What are your career goals after college?
Career goals, to work in a newspaper for sure, big or small, to hopefully break some kind of story or stories that help the world become a better place. You know, that's, I think, my ultimate career goal.
Is there a certain location that you'd prefer to cover or a certain type of news?
The whole world. I want to see the whole world, and, you know, instead of just staying here in Orange County and LA, you know, I grew up here, so I think that there's so much left to see. So,
True, yeah.
yeah, a lot of traveling to do.
Now, if you were ever incapacitated and couldn't fulfill your roles as editor-in-chief, who would get to be the stand-in?
Richard Mejia, for
Okay.
sure. He's my right-hand man. He gets me through the day. He's the managing editor, and I'm sure he's going to be editor-in-chief next semester.
Okay, fantastic.
So, yeah.
It's good to have that already covered.
Yeah,
You don't want to come back for another term?
maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see in 2 months at the end of the semester if I have, you know, the will.
That's awesome. I know Mr. McKeon will also have one for the summertime, too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you should apply for that.
I might. That would be exciting. That would be really exciting. I'm a journalist also, and I'm a writer and an editor with the Viking newspaper, too.
A good writer.
Thanks. That's very nice of you. Mm-hmm. Now, how do you think we'll do at the JACC conference this weekend?
We usually do pretty well. We take home some awards. We do news writing. We do feature photo stuff. We should kick some butt. We have a solid staff this semester.
That's fantastic.
So,
I hope
yeah.
so. Which events are you going to focus on, and do you have any workshops in mind that you want to do?
I do news writing primarily just because it's what I know best. And I'm going to try feature photo, which I'm not really a photographer, but might as well try it. So.
For sure. It's almost like going to a track meet, and it's like, well, if you can, you might as well get into a couple events instead of just one.
Exactly, yeah. Just
Yeah.
like try everything out. So you never know what you might like.
For sure. I was just going to do news writing, but I can do news and sports. So I said, why not? Let's try it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Now, when you're not studying, what kind of stuff do you like to do for fun?
I surf a lot. It kind of keeps me level-headed. But fall's coming and it's going to be, you know, cold. So I like to go running. I go to a lot of concerts. I hang out with my best friends and my family. And what else?
Where have you been surfing? Have you been to any famous spots or any big hairy waves?
My favorite spot, secret spot, is the dog beach in Huntington. So nobody really goes to surf. They just bring their dogs.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's
don't tell
awesome.
anybody, please.
Yeah, we'll keep it under wraps. Is there like a good left there, a good right? Is it a beach break or a coral break?
Very consistent when it's good, and it's glassy, but when it's bad. So you kind of have to check the report before you go.
Makes sense.
yeah.
Are you from Long Beach? Or?
No, I just moved to Long Beach from Orange County. I basically grew up in like Costa Mesa and Newport and where else? Like Santa Ana, Anaheim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say to a potential journalism student or a parent who might be watching and they're thinking, well, maybe sending their kid to LBCC and coming here and learning from Mr. McKeon?
I would say that Mr. McKeon is great. He's super passionate. He was the one who motivated me to pursue the career. I was a nursing major before because it's, you know, it's safer, I guess, financially. It's more sound. But my true passion lied with journalism. And, you know, I was a shy girl in the back of the class my first semester a year ago, and now I'm the editor. So he's great. He's phenomenal. Him and the photo advisor, Chris Viola, are amazing. The two of them together, like, are just unstoppable. And you can see it in every staff member. You know, they totally appreciate what they do, and they build students up to be better writers, better photographers, better editors, better everything. Videographers. So it's a great program.
Thanks, and I've been in it for 2.5 years now, and I
so
agree
you
with
know.
every word you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really great people, and they really are inspirational, and I appreciate it. Well, thank you so much for coming by today and
Yeah,
doing the
of
interview.
course.
It's great
Thank
to get to
you.
know you more. And this is Jason Gastrich, and this has been IE News. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Jason.
Now that's a wrap of our spooktacular Halloween edition of IE News.
We hope you enjoyed this special, which featured our top 10 music and horror movie countdowns, as well as our staff interviews.
If you're interested in our radio and television program, We invite you to join our team.
Please contact 562-938-4892 for more information.
We appreciate your continued support. I'm Ricky Mulak.
And I'm Jake Lambie.
Have a happy and safe Halloween.